Hello, my friends. Good day, everybody. Today we'll talk about 9/11. Well, not the American 9/11, but the Jewish 9/11. Yesterday was the most commemorable and commemorated Jewish holiday in the year. The one day that is not from the Bible that was given to us by rabbinical traditions, it's Tish'a Be'av, the day of the ninth day of the 11th month of the Jewish calendar. As I said, the 9/11 of the Jewish calendar, and that's going to be our subject today. So let's go. We're having an amazing live today. Hi, and we're back. Well, today, as you know, I'm Ron Sinai, and I've been involved in the Israeli tourism industry for the last 3 decades. This year, I founded the Sinai Connection, which enables people around the world to invest in Israel, whether it is in real estate, high tech, charity, and more. The Sinai Connection, this Sinai Connection Live, is on Tish'a Be'av, the Jewish National Memorial Day, and its connection to modern life with loss and how to keep the memory live together. So let's go a little bit about understanding that notion of Tish'a B'av. The 9th of the 11th month of the Jewish history is not only a day that we commemorate today. In a very, I don't know even how to call it, a morbid way or historical disaster day, throughout the Jewish history, we find this relentless reappearing of tragedy and struggle amongst the Jewish life in this specific day. And when we're talking about this specific day, I can go all the way back to the first temple, the temple built by King Solomon himself, and it was destroyed by Nebuchadnezzar the Babylonian in 586 BCE. As a result of that, we all know how the Jews that were fled out of there found themselves on the rivers of Babylon. As we all know, the Earth, Wind, and Fire wrote a song about it. On rivers of Babylon, as we sat down, we wept, as we were crying for Zion. 70 years it took these Jews who sat there and cried and wept over the loss of the temple of King Solomon to return to their homeland. 70 years of misery, which is a result of that. The second temple was built upon arrival into the country by Ezra and Nehemiah. Later on, King Herod the Great rebuilt that temple into a magnificent structure, one of the most beautiful structures in the ancient world, as even Titus himself said it, as he destroyed it in the year 70, exactly at the same day, the 9th of the month of Av. The same 9/11 that was destroyed the first temple, destroyed the second temple, this time by Titus the emperor. The Bar Kokhba revolt that happened another 70 years later as a result of the Romans controlling Jerusalem happened also in this date, and many, many other Jewish dates that are connected to this thing. Sometimes when I look at the Jewish history and the Jewish power of remembering, I find myself saying to myself, look, this is not logic. There couldn't be that many things that happen in that specific date in the history of the Jewish life. But when you're opening historical books and trying to understand what it is, we all remember as the world looking at this little country as tourists throughout the history, found those Jews sitting by the Western Wall, the Wailing Wall, and wailing and crying over the destruction of this temple, always in the same date the 9th of the month of Av, Tish'a Be'av. This historical moment has something spiritual or menaced about it. The first Crusader officially commenced and started on August 15 in 1096, killing 10,000 Jews in the process in the first month and destroying the Jewish communities all over France. If I'll move a little bit forward in time to 1290, the Jews of England were expelled on that specific Tish'a B'av in July 2019. When I'm looking even further forward, another give or take 15 years, in the same day Tish'a B'av, the Jews were expelled out of France. The Jews were expelled out of Spain on that same day. And if I'll move into the modern era, so-called modern era, okay, all I have to do is go to August 1st of 1914. That's the point when Germany entered World War I. And we all know how many tens of thousands of Jews were killed in this horrific war. In 1941, in August 2nd, the SS commander Heinrich Himmler formally received the approval from the Nazi Party to the final solution. Guys, there's always been a line that connects this day, the 9th of the month of Av, into disasters. On July 23rd, in 1942, in Tish'a B'av, the mass deportation of Jews from Warsaw Ghetto onto the route to Treblinka took place. Even in modern times, the bombing of the Jewish community center in Buenos Aires, killing 85 people and injuring over 300 of them, happened on Tish'a B'av. And the modern life in Israel is connected in a bond, a spiritual bond, to this day of memory. In the modern life in Israel, part of the secular notion of the life in Israel, there was an attempt by the government throughout the years to separate this memorial mega day and split it. So, for example, in Israel, we are commemorating the Holocaust on a Holocaust Memorial Day, which causes a little bit of an issue for those Orthodox communities in the country, because it's usually located after Passover, which according to the Jewish tradition, it's the only time of the year that they're not allowed to have any symbols or emblems of grief. These are happy days after Passover, and therefore the secular notion of having that day happening in these specific days causes always friction with ultra-Orthodox communities that disobey the common feel of grief over the 6 million Jews. Though you will find all of these communities sitting down on the floor as part of Tish'a B'av traditions, sitting on the floor, reading the Megillat of Eicha, and sitting there and mourning for the losses of Jews throughout history and this specific day. It starts already in a few weeks ahead of that, from the 17th of the month of Tammuz, a few weeks before Tish'a B'av, when that's the siege over Jerusalem took place. And that period is a period of lamentation, of not eating meat, of actually maintaining this period of purity and sorrow over that loss. We find in the modern days a lot of friction between that and between the ultra-Orthodox and the secular population in the country. What amazes me every time, though, again and again and again, is the fact that even though Israel as a Jewish state is secular, there is an understanding of the importance of that day. For us as Israelis, modern Israelis living in this country, Tish'a B'av is a day that all restaurants are closed, all places of fun and activities are closed. All movie theaters and theaters are closed. No culture in terms of shows is allowed in the public areas, and it's in a way embedded in the law of the country. And I think that this is the future of understanding and acceptance between the different parts of the Israeli population. Raises again the need amongst us all for a love without a cause, without any will to accept something in return, to substitute the senseless hatred that exists between different groups and different cultural minorities within the country. I find it amongst the Jewish population and the non-Jewish population in the country. And I think that this is the greatest time of the year, right after Tish'a Be'av, to come out and call out loud, let's all stay connected. Let's all work together for a better place, for a place that people are connected together into a goal of making the life of everybody's better. So with this positive notion, I want to conclude this short live with inviting you all to visit our website. In our website, it's the place that will give you the ability to stay in touch with the country throughout the year. Even if you're not be able to physically arrive, I would love to connect with you and reveal to you all that this blessed country has to give. See you on the next live broadcast. And in the meantime, let's stay connected. Have a great day.